Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this episode number 220 of the Good Morning Guys podcast, thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we talk about the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your hosts, the Brazilian Boogerneer and transition picker, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, the jury, and the executioner of boogers, bloody boogers, and nose pickers, Patrick.
Man, what happened last week?
I don't know what the hell is. We were crossing shows, man.
What happened last week?
Patrick knows exactly what happened last week.
For those that have not listened to the most recent PlayStation Plus Premium show, that's where it all originated.
Yep.
And man, the first 10 minutes, oh my goodness.
All it takes
when Marc's
is 10
not
minutes.
there to tell us to stop, we just keep going.
I'm here and you're still going. So
that's correct. That is correct. So to his left and my right, back from the dead, and formerly known as Rodney Johansson, the Rocket League and beast of the East who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, Ronnie Johantis.
I'm just glad mine didn't have like boogers involved, honestly.
No, I wouldn't drag you down
Very
with
happy.
us.
Yeah,
It's just me and
very happy
Patrick.
with this.
We're the Booger Bros. And then the final member.
No one call us that, please.
That's what they're going to call us. And then the final member of the GMG quadfecta, the guy with music in his heart, Earl and Iffle on his brain, and La Carreta in his old stomacho, Marc Shack Boucher.
I don't know if Earl and Iffle are on my brain.
They are. They
It's
are
gonna be a
every
wild
week.
show tonight, I think.
It
Lucas
is.
in-
Hope you're ready.
He's ready to go.
I'm in rare form.
He is ready.
Just in
2 hour
time to
time difference has
totally
really done a
bring the
number
room
on
down
you.
First.
It really has. All right, joiner, if you're new here in this place right here, right now, welcome. We welcome you here. We apologize for all the boogers and everything else that doesn't make any sense.
Do you,
I
do
will-
we? I mean, the three of us probably not. But Mark's like, sorry, let's stop it.
Yeah, let's restart the recording. If you aren't new to us, you knew what you were getting into, so we have no apologies for you. So moving on.
No apologies.
This morning we are sharing what's new with us in the realms of Earl and Iffle, of course, as always and is tradition. But first, we want to talk about the elephant in the room. As this past week, for the second week in a row, we lost another important figure in many of our childhoods and our lives as nerds. So the Green Ranger, dang it, I screwed that up. The Green Ranger, JDF, I can never remember his.
Jason David Frank.
Thank you. He passed away this past week. And so we want to spend a few minutes honoring his legacy, his memory. So Marc, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, man. This has been really rough for me since I found out. I actually found out Sunday morning. I think that's when everybody else found out. But apparently he passed away early Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And that just absolutely rocked my world because dude was only 49 years old. That is way too young. And, Jason David Frank was a huge part of certainly my childhood. I think everybody else on this panel, well, most people on this panel.
Ooh, it's a panel.
Yeah, panel. Big group of guys.
Uh-huh.
Even I watched the Power Rangers when I was a kid, so
Yeah.
Yeah. But, he was an integral part of the show ever since he was introduced in his 5-part series of episodes where he was introduced as the evil Green Ranger. And then finally, at the end of his 5-part series, he came to the good side. But that, I mean, all Power Rangers is corny as crap. Just going to admit it. But, we were 6, 7, 8 years old back then. And it was some.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
I was 12.
Lucas was
I was
25
6,
years old.
7, 8 years old.
I was in college. No, I'm just kidding.
You're old.
I'm an old man.
I was 6, 7, 8 years old back then.
Yeah.
And I still have such an appreciation for JDF he basically became the face of Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only was he the Green Ranger, he was the White Ranger, In later seasons, he became 2 different Red Rangers as well as a Black Ranger. He's been on so many different, anniversary specials, and they've asked him to come back. Go
Let's
ahead.
be honest. He was the coolest Ranger
Yes.
out of all
Oh,
of them.
for sure. Oh,
There
yeah,
is
for sure.
no doubt. And I grew up like I said, I was older when the Power Rangers came out. I watched it for the fun and the giggles because I was a teenager. We flipped between Power Rangers and Sports Center every morning before school. So those two go really close together. So sparks are flying, footballs are flying. You name it. It was my my school morning routine before walking to school. So yeah.
But yeah, still don't understand how he's able to play that Dragon Dagger flute with the helmet on. But we try to go by that.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
Superpowers.
Yep.
That's right.
Super powered flute skills.
Yep.
But otherwise, no. Like JDF was awesome. He was always about the fans and super pumped about everything. He was, so many different cons he's been to, and he would sign and take photos with everybody that he possibly could. He's come back, like I said, for different specials. They've asked him to come back to the show. He's got his last film, Legend of the White Dragon, I want to say it's called.
It is. Yep.
That he's been working on. So he's been always, he's always embraced his role on Power Rangers,
Yeah,
and his love for the fans. And so to find out that he passed away this weekend, and not only did he just pass away, but it's different. Like with Kevin Conroy, he was 66 and he had cancer, which is awful. Don't get me wrong, completely awful. But that's one thing when it's like you die of an illness or natural causes or something like that. It's awful, but you can kind of, I guess, accept it a little bit more. But from all reports surrounding his passing, unfortunately, it seems as he took his own life. And so that's doubly awful.
Yeah.
And just at such a young age of 49, that just, I'm still shaken up by it. Arguably, if not the same, maybe even more than Kevin Conroy's passing, just because of the nature of how he passed and everything.
Yeah.
And but for everything from his Green with Evil to White Light, when he came back as the White Ranger, they've done several Tommy focused episodes, and he's always done a fantastic job on the show. So, guys, you guys have any other thoughts?
Yeah, he was a huge part of my childhood too. With going from Power Rangers, and then when he was finished with Power Rangers and like internet was available and you could watch pretty much whatever episode you wanted. And I followed him when he went to MMA, which was crazy. Like I looked up because I know that he was undefeated, and so I was looking up his stats, and he was 4-0, 3-0 in amateur, and 1-0 as professional. 4 of his 5 fights were less than 46 seconds, and his longest fight was 2 minutes. So he was pretty good, and there was he kept trying to fight like another professional fight, but injuries from his opponent and his own injuries kind of stopped him from continuing on his MMA career. But then, like you said, his last thing that he was doing was the Legend of the White Dragon, which finished filming and they were in post-production, and it's scheduled to be released sometime in 2023. No idea. The Legend of the White Dragon social media, they said, they don't have any updates, please respect privacy and the time and of grieving and all that stuff, or that they're gonna have their grieving process. They're gonna go through what they need to, and then they'll let us know at a later date, whenever they have any more updates on that. But yeah, like he was a huge part of. I followed him from the Green Ranger all the way till this past weekend. One of his slogans or mottos, part of his MMA, I guess, studio or whatever team. It was he was called the Fearless Frank, and I have a T-shirt of him, and of him and at the Green Ranger, White Ranger, and Fearless Frank, and at the bottom of it says Jesus didn't tap, and I thought that was really really cool. That taking an MMA type of saying and throwing it into a biblical type of thing, where Jesus was on the cross. He could have quit. He could have got down off the cross, but no, he didn't. He stayed up there, and he died on the cross for everyone else. And it really resonated with me enough to where I got Jesus didn't tap tattooed on my arm. So he's always gonna be with me for the rest of my life because of the tattoo that I have. So it really shook me over the weekend. Not only his passing, but the nature of it. It really hurt. And just it's been a big part of my life. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude was a beast. Like, he knew like 5 or 6 different forms of martial arts, was an 8th degree black belt, had his own karate studio. Dude was a legit mixed martial artist. In addition to his acting skills and stuff like that. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough losing a childhood hero, like Jason. And the one other thing I'd like to say is, if you're struggling, if you're not okay, reach out to somebody. Reach out to family member, counselor, pastor, friend. I know in the United States there's like the suicide hotline. There's multiple ways, like
988, easy number, 988.
So reach out. Somebody, there's plenty of people out there that love you and want to help you out. So reach out.
Yeah,
please. But that's pretty much, rest in peace, Jason David Frank. Thank you for all the memories.
Yes.
Yeah, our prayers definitely go out for the family and friends and fans, everyone affected by his passing. And his legacy, as Patrick said, will definitely live on. And so that aspect of it, his faith, will not go unnoticed. Jesus didn't tap is a great phrase, is a great just visual picture of Christ not giving up on us, and encouraging us to not give up on each other. So yeah, definitely still encouraging, even despite the circumstance. And so all right. Well, with that, we are going to switch gears. We're going to get into some life updates, real life gaming, whatever you want to share, as is tradition. Since Ronnie missed last week, Ronnie, you get to lead the way. Update us on the last 2 weeks. What's been going on?
Well, last week I missed because I basically just wasn't feeling well. That lasted for a couple of days. I've actually found getting back into the routine at the beginning of the week. So when I get to my desk on Mondays, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just like my reintroduction to the computer screen, to the lights, all of that. But it's Mondays for whatever reason. It's maybe it's just a case of the Mondays, I guess, and being back to work. But man, I get like the worst migraines on that first day back to work, looking at the computer for 8 hours or whatever it is. So, but yeah, it's basically one of those things where it happened last week. But yeah, it was pretty rough. But outside of that, I did have a Thanksgiving this past weekend, which was fantastic. The first of a couple.
There you go.
We went to my mom's house. It was just the immediate family, stepbrothers, their spouse, or the spouse's sister, all that. It was really fun. It was really good. It's actually kind of taken on a different whole thing. One of my stepbrothers has a little baby girl, so now it's kind of just like everybody taking turns, holding on to the baby. We're just like handing that thing off. Everybody wants to get some baby action in.
Mm-hmm.
So it has taken on a whole different, it's a whole different thing. But it was great. It was really fun. We had turkey. I normally don't like turkey. It's not really my thing. I always think it's a little bit dry.
Yeah.
If anything, dark meat turkey I think is okay.
I gotta throw a whole bunch of gravy on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like I would take like my turkey, my mashed potatoes, my corn, like I'll just take it all and just make one of those like KFC buckets pretty much. Like,
There you go. Or you could make a turducken.
I'm turducken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know how to like make anything. So
What is that a combination of? Anybody remember? It's like turkey,
Duck and chicken.
Duck and chicken. Yeah.
yeah,
I saw somebody the other day made octopus
Turkraken.
turkraken.
Yep.
Kraken.
Octopus. You get a turkey and then you stuff it with octopus. And I was just like, whoa. Someone told me about
that
that.
doesn't sound good.
Someone told me about that today.
I would never.
That sounds
but-
horrible.
I mean, I would try it. I helped my mom make
you know
oyster
what?
stuffing one time, so
Yeah,
you
just
get
put
the seafoods going.
Just put some peanut butter on top, a little, and drizzle it with raisins. And,
Hey, if it's Jif, I'll eat it
I mean,
as long as it's Jif
what
peanut
was
butter.
it? What was it that you had? Didn't you have like spider or something like that?
spider? No.
No, what was it that you went to like this world market or something like that, and you had?
No, he talked
I've
about
had,
getting an ostrich egg.
I've had octopus and
I thought there was
before.
something like a weird bug or
Alligator,
something
maybe?
like that.
I've had alligator's chewy.
Mm.
I wouldn't eat that again. It's not
Yeah.
good.
It's like chewy chicken, right?
Yeah, it's
Gator?
too chewy. Yeah.
Who thought to
It's like
put
you're
an
eating a rubber
octopus
ball.
inside of a turkey?
I don't know. I think
That
that
doesn't
I think that's why God
Sounds like
told
two different things.
That's why God told the Hebrew people like kosher laws and stuff. He's like, you guys can get a little crazy, so we're going to keep this simple. Don't eat this, don't eat that, don't combine these things before it gets out of hand. Because now we're
All right.
stuffing turkeys with octopi. I mean, I don't know. It's
We're
just going to
running
get worse from
we're
here.
just like, I think people are just getting bored.
I think they probably are.
Wait, is octopi the plural of octopus?
Sure
No,
is.
that's the dessert.
I don't actually know the answer to your question.
No, I think it is. I think it is an octopus. Is plural is octopi, but it came to me right when you asked. I'm so glad you asked because that was just like perfect. This is a softball pitch.
I don't even
Thank
remember
you.
what I was
It
going to
was,
say
yeah.
about my story.
Yeah.
So I
turkey.
started talking about turkey, and then we
Spiraled
drove
out of
off the
control.
road.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No, I actually had a turkey, and I had turkey this time, and I normally don't get it, and it was actually like I don't get it because the white, like just the like white turkey is just dry. It's just so dry that I can't really eat it. And this wasn't like that, but it was a boneless turkey.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know. I have no idea what is all behind that. How it just comes in this big boneless lump of meat. That's all it is.
I want to see that thing walking around the farm,
Yeah,
like
there was two
wobbling
of them.
around the farm.
It was like almost like a meatloaf, but it was just a turkey. It was just no bones in it, just one solid piece of meat. I don't know how it came to be, but it was really good. Actually, it was way better than the regular turkey. That's not good.
Do they just have like a little tag on the side and they just like pull it real fast and all the bones come out?
I have no.
No, they just
there
wish
wasn't. There was
they're
no
like-
traces of bones or like.
They just make a
anything.
wish. I wish this
Yeah,
chicken
they
had
just
no
want to-
bones. I
It
wish
was like
this
a
turkey
big
had no
piece of
bones.
meat.
Flopping around on the farm. What is that
Yeah,
thing
no, it's just
flopping
a big
around in the
old
grass?
piece of
Oh, that's
turkey.
my boneless turkey.
What are you raising out there? Boneless turkeys.
This is a bunch of turkeys flopping around on the ground.
Just rolling like blobs.
But it was way different. I just thought it was way better than normal. So
Yeah,
if it's a boneless turkey and you don't like turkey, you should try it.
There
Okay.
you go.
Moral of the
All right.
story.
fair enough.
Let's see. Outside of that, boy,
I didn't
I'm a-
expect to hear Thanksgiving updates yet. This is getting a
yeah,
preview.
it was.
here.
You know how it is. Like when
Double up.
like when like your brothers, sisters, like family,
Oh,
people
yeah.
families start to get older. Then people start doing it on days before, week before, week after.
It gets a little tribal. It's like
it just
you
turns
it's
into,
my
like-
turn. You got to come to my house. We're having
it turns into like a
Thanksgiving
whole
at my house
month
now.
full of dinners. Really, is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Which is, I mean, kind of awesome. Like if you can make it happen.
Did you know popcorn is Thanksgiving food?
How do you know that?
I was alive. I'm that old. I was there when they did Thanksgiving, and the Indians introduced popcorn to the Pilgrims. So, little known fact. That's where it came from.
Maybe like, I don't even want to get into that.
That's right. We can put a pin in it. We can talk about it next week.
Land? Like,
That is correct.
Here's popcorn. Give us your land.
Yeah, well, that was a misinterpretation. They're like, we're going to give you this popcorn. Oh, we can have your land. Thank you.
The fact that we celebrate this holiday, honestly, not good. Not good. However,
There's positives and negatives. At least we're thankful about it.
Make it about family, friends, and love, not what happened in history. No, outside of that, on the video game side for me, I have I've actually been playing Ark again.
And he's back.
What is this game? Is this about Noah and the animals?
Me and my buddy Kevin are doing a playthrough. He's never played before, so yeah, that's kind of where I've been spending my time. Still on the Rocket League, like that fire seems to never quite go out all the way. So
yeah,
and we've been playing pretty good lately, so it's been
nice,
fun. Really fun.
We need gridiron mode to come back. I missed that.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like drop shot or something like that. I can't remember which one it is, but it's actually really fun. But
that's like the hot potato one. You can't let the ball touch the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you want it to touch the ground like on their side.
Oh, right, on their side. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to knock the ground out or something.
I'm really bad at that one.
There's actually a
It's all
crossover.
flying through the air.
There's actually a crossover with Fortnite going on with Rocket League right now. Granted,
is
that
it?
would still not be enough for you.
Is
to
it
play,
with guns? Like, are you running around a car with guns and they're shooting each other?
They just
I'd play
have
that.
Rocket
That's like
League.
Twisted,
It's like Twisted
Metal.
Metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They have
that'd
Rocket
be sweet.
League cars on the map. Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
Huh.
That would be
Yeah,
fun, but so
Fortnite.
distracting. I would not even do anything productive.
Well, I mean, they
if I
have
had a
regular cars
Rocket League car.
in the game already, so
Yeah, but
this
they're
just
not as
makes it
cool.
more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I really don't think I have much else like on the video game front. It's just
All right.
I've actually been watching back through The Office again.
nice.
This might actually be like my third walkthrough, I think, just like straight up. But it's really nice to have on the, like on while you're just kind of going through work, going through the motions.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you're there, like you're in the office while
I'd rather
you're.
be in this office.
Except it's not-
than
except it's
that
not as
office.
Well, that's why you have it on and you pretend like you're there. You're like the guy
Exactly
that
right.
everybody ignores. You try to talk to him and nobody says anything to you.
That is it. That is it.
Kind of like Toby.
Exactly.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know who wants to go next.
All right. Patrick.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. While we're on let's stay with the TV front. So,
Ooh.
I watched a little bit of some movies. Actually, one movie really. The other one was a Hallmark movie, which I won't discuss.
Oh, that doesn't count.
No. But I watched the new Disney Plus movie Disenchanted.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, if you like the first one, you like the second one.
Yeah?
It's,
Nice.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. They have the music in it is really just they know how to do it. Disney knows how to do music.
Yeah.
So
They know what they're doing now.
yeah, they do, and it was cool because it was like a mashup of all the fairy tales in one. Like it was Cinderella and Ariel and the whole Aladdin, all these Snow White and all that stuff, all that stuff in there all mashed up. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to get back into that world. So I would rate that one 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed that one.
All right.
Cool. On the TV front, so I watched The Young Rock new season came out, and I don't know. There's a lot of wrestling involved in it, so it's really fun seeing The Rock young and seeing him up and coming and see like the because it's all basically true. There's some timeline weird things going on because they go back when he was 8 and then they do it when he's in his 20s and then they go to when he's teens. It's like all over the place, but it all makes sense in the story for what the storyline they're trying to tell during that episode.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun to watch.
Cool. It's like a television biopic, right? Like it's an
yeah.
actor portraying The Rock, or actors, since it's all the different ages.
Right. The Rock's
What is
in
that
it.
on?
And Uh, NBC maybe. I don't know. I watch it on Novacell now.
Novacell now, yeah, it's on Novacell now.
The other show I've been watching is Mythic Quest. It is that kind of like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So made by the same guys, and it's about just a video game developer. So it's all about them creating code and creating games and things like that. So that's really funny. That's on Apple Plus. I know that. The most recent show that just came out is The Santa Clauses, which is the TV show with Tim Allen.
That came out?
Yeah,
It is out.
The first 2 episodes came out, I think, this past Friday. And it's basically kind of like a mashup with Santa Claus and the movie Elf, where the storyline is Santa Claus is losing his magic, thinking about retiring because there's not a lot of Christmas spirit. So I guess the whole series, I guess the whole season is supposed to be getting the Christmas spirit back up, so his magic comes back and he doesn't retire. I don't know. Who knows?
What's how many episodes is it? Do you know?
There's only been 2 so far, but I'm assuming it's going to be like a 8 to 10 episode series.
Okay.
So maybe it's going to lead up to like kind of like Christmas. I can't imagine it going past Christmas.
That would be kind of silly. I would have to say probably 6 episodes.
Yeah, probably maybe that, or maybe they'll double up like they did the first week, and they'll release more episodes per week.
Sure.
I don't know. Who knows? But it's fun so far. And then this past week, I also caught up on 4 episodes of Andor. So the finale, I believe, is coming out tomorrow. The day of recording.
Oh, really?
Tuesday,
Okay.
So I think the finale is tomorrow. So all caught up on that. So I did a lot of watching TV and movies this past week.
Okay.
On the gaming front, so I've been playing some games too. I'm in the middle of God of War. That game. This game is it's basically a one-shot game where you're in action, and then it goes into a cutscene naturally, and it comes out of a cutscene, and then you just like continue on. I'm like, man, I don't know where to stop and pause and save to come back, because it's always in the middle of something, and it's hard for me to find a time to stop. I'm like maybe 13 hours in. I'm a little more than halfway. I think I'm on mission 10. I don't know how many missions there are, but I think there's less than 20. But yeah,
I think there's 19.
19. Okay, so I'm a
Spoilers.
little more than halfway.
Yeah.
So we've been playing that. Been playing some Apex. Obviously, been playing WWE 2K22. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but it is now officially number 2 on my list of most played PlayStation games of all time, right behind Apex.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's not right behind, is it?
Sorry, no, it's about 2,000
like
hours behind.
It's a far distant second.
Yeah, it's a dot. And I most recently started playing Somerville. It's that new Xbox Game Pass game where it's kind of like Inside, I would say. Those kinds of games where there's no dialogue. It's just moving around the environment, trying to go do the next puzzle to get to the next area. It's really the art style and the direction and the camera work for this is really well done. The only thing is sometimes it's hard to see what to do. It's very dark, and there's only a certain things that you can pull, push, play, and do things like that. So that's my only gripe so far. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, kind of thing. I just got to a point where I this is the first part where I need to look up on a YouTube section of how to beat this kind of section, because I have no idea what to do. Outside of that, I've been able to do everything else. So that's been fun. And the other game I started this past week was Sonic Frontiers. It is the first open world Sonic game. It's kind of like I started playing it with my son, and he's like, oh, this is just like Mario Odyssey, just going around doing these things, fighting these enemies, going on to the next thing, collecting coins, doing this stuff, collecting gems. So he was having a great time with it. I'm not so sure yet. It's okay. We've played maybe about an hour and a half so far. I get the hook of it, because basically it is a ADD collection open world map kind of game. So if you're into doing just whatever you want, this game is really open. There's really like almost no restrictions. Yes, you have to get keys, you have to be able to open certain doors and things like that, but outside of that, you can do whatever you want. There's no mission structure to this, which is really nice. One thing that happened is there's a loading screen, and I didn't know it was a loading screen. It was training, and I was doing all these things. I'm like, man, why am I doing all this stuff?
Kept going and kept going.
I was like, I already did this. What is going on? And at the bottom right, it says, tap the touchpad to exit training. I'm like, what? This was just a loading screen. So, I was like, this is a pretty it's a pretty cool loading screen.
Yeah.
But the loading screen, it only lasts like maybe 3 seconds, but I didn't realize it. I was in that loading screen for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is just a loading screen.
I did the same thing.
Really nice. Outside of that, on the Earl side, I got ordained this past week.
Look at you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So now all I need to do is get a state license, and I am ready to perform a wedding in Ohio. So
there you go.
Which I am doing in March. So all I need to do is do that, and I'll be all set.
Did you have to answer like questions, or was there like?
Yeah, I went through the grueling process. It was like a form that took 10 minutes. Yeah. So
grueling. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't take long at all. It was pretty easy. They sent me the forms and my certificate in the mail, which was, and it's really nice, really legitimate, official looking thing. So yeah.
So now we can call you PP?
Pastor Novacell, PN.
No, Pastor Pat, PP.
Nope. No. I mean, I guess you can.
PP.
Yeah.
Stop it.
PP.
Good night, everybody.
You know what? You need someone to for your wedding? Call PP.
Call PP.
At
PP's got you covered.
GMG guys.
How Christian of you.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Sweet.
All right. Marcus. You're next.
So
share old Earl and Iffle with us.
Which would you like first, the Iffle or the Earl?
Iffle.
Ladies first. Iffle first.
Okay. So I have completed God of War.
Let's go. Nice.
You are the Flash.
Took me 23 hours.
All right.
I did some side stuff, but I did focus a lot on just the main story. And I absolutely loved it. It is, I dare to say, and we'll talk more about it end of the year.
That's the plan.
Goaty.
Really?
Yeah. It's goaty. Got a goat feel to it.
Yeah. This story and the gameplay was just all cylinders. Had me in the feels like 50 bajillion times.
Yeah.
Just the progression of the father-son relationship between Kratos and Atreus, just from the first game to this game, like just huge development. And what a ride. Absolute ride. Highly recommend it. Can't recommend it enough. But I've actually also debated going back and doing more side stuff. I'm not platinuming it. Just not for me. But just doing some more of the side stuff. But I have also moved on to Sonic Frontiers, which Kristen and I are both playing. We have our own files that we're doing. And yeah, it took me some time to actually get into it because the first like hour and a half, you feel aimless. Like there is a story, but it's just very few and far between. So, but once things started kind of clicking with me as to what I was doing, it became really fun I mean, it was fun already, just because you can go wherever you want. There's puzzles to unlock. I love the combination of the open world stuff, and then there's also like courses that are more old school, 2D, 3D style
Mhm.
Sonic.
2.5D.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically they have, everything's in 3D, excuse me, but it's very linear in terms of the course, and there's like multiple. There's incentives for you to play the courses multiple times, like beat it in this certain amount of time, and there's like these red star coins that you can get. There's like 6 of those you can get. You have to beat the level with certain amount of rings, things like that. And the more you do those, the more of the keys that you're given that help you unlock certain other things. There is a story. It's kind of loosely based at this point. I'm sure there'll be more once I keep going, but very Breath of the Wild vibes, like very like chill, serene environment where you're playing as Sonic, and the music, all the music is like piano based, like very light piano, which is very Breath of the Wild. And so now, granted, you don't have to like craft food or anything like that, like Breath of the Wild does, but
Your shoes don't like degrade and break.
no,
and you
they
have
do
to
not.
get new shoes.
They do not. But there is some like
gotta get-
RPG-ish
never mind.
elements of it where you level up Sonic. You can add speed or expand your ring amount of rings you can hold, because if you get max rings, it makes you go faster, and things like that. So there's like some RPG-ish elements to it. But I mean, for the most part, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, this is a great game to actually mute and listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
While you're playing.
Yeah.
Because there's really, I mean, other than the normal Sonic sounds, there's, like you said, there's really no story. Just throw on the subtitles. The story scenes are very short,
Yeah.
at least from the at the beginning. But yeah, it's a good game to play a podcast to.
Yep, absolutely. But I mean, those are the main 2 IFL things I've been working with, is just God of War the whole past week, and then jumping into the Sonic Frontiers. So on the IRL side of things, obviously, with the passing of JDF, I started watching some Power Rangers, and I have made myself another resolution. Well, I guess resolution. We'll see if I do it, because obviously my Zelda thing kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But I am going to watch the entirety of Power Rangers.
Like the first 3 seasons.
No, all of them.
Like every
Whoa.
single iteration of Power Rangers?
Like all of them.
Whoa. Hey, are you gonna watch the
You have
superpower
fun with that.
beatdowns in there?
No, I don't know. I mean, those are cool, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm going to go that far. But yeah, all of them.
All right.
Wow.
Now you got to remember, these
dedication.
episodes are only like 30 minutes.
I mean,
so-
they're like 20 minutes.
20,
really,
yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
without commercials, 20 minutes. But I mean, I think the first season's 60 episodes.
Yeah.
So look out.
Yeah.
Just turn it on. Just turn it on like Ronnie does with The Office. Just turn it on.
Yep.
You'll get through it.
Yeah, I think I'll do it, but there's gonna be some corniness abounding, but it's all
And
good.
sparks are flying.
Sparks are flying.
Putties making whatever sound they make. Turkey sounds. They're turducken sounds.
Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Plenty of Ron Wasserman to go around. Looking forward to that.
We should get him on the podcast.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, except for
We
another F-bomb he may drop.
It's the risk you take.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been watching that. I needed to get a new Christmas tree, because ours, we had a pre-lit tree and the lights went out on it.
That's the worst about pre-lit trees.
See,
we had the same thing for us, and we had to get a new one.
I hate putting lights on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer the pre-lit.
Sure.
But that's the that's the con of it, is
Right.
I think it's worth it just to buy a new one every few years.
Yeah.
I think we had for like 2 or 3 years after our lights went out on our pre-lit tree, we put lights over it.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Oh, the trees are expensive. They're so expensive.
But and the last one we got, by the time we had decided to get a pre-lit tree, we prefer the white lights,
Yeah, same.
versus the multicolor lights. And by the time we decided to get a pre-lit tree, they were all out of the white lit ones. So we could only get the multicolor ones, which to me that looks corny to me. But
I was like the big bulb ones though, the big colored bulbs. I think
Yeah.
those look
Really?
cool.
Like the
That
old
takes me
school?
back.
Yeah,
that takes
the
me
old school
back.
style. Yeah,
50s and 60s huge lights, yeah. But no, we actually got got a white pre-lit tree this year. Got me some new ornaments to go along with it. One of them being this guy, for those who are
Oh, what's he
Ooh.
wearing? A little sash?
He's got a little sachet there.
Yeah, he's
It's
got
just
a
like
little
Batman.
hairdo.
He's got the same thing as Batman last time. Little hairdo.
No,
on him.
that's a really cool Green Ranger ornament right there.
so these are sold at Walmart. You can get these, they're like $8 or $9. We also got a TARDIS, or Tartarus if you'd like.
Yeah.
Tartarus, get it
yep.
right.
And also got a Robert Pattinson Batman.
Oh
One.
man, you got some good ones. Nice.
There's a couple I'm probably still gonna get. Like they've got the Flash, they've got an NES controller. There's a couple other ones that I would like to get to add to our collection and make it a real like nerdy Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going for. So yeah, bought a new tree, bought new ornaments, all that fun stuff.
Speaking of ornaments, I got this one. Oh, sorry, it's got
Nice.
yeah.
Your belt has a
Championship
sash?
belt.
Yes.
Looks like a bracelet. You could put it around your wrist if you wanted to.
No, I would have to get a new sash for it. Whatever you call these things.
Fair enough.
The ornament holder.
Yeah,
String.
I mean, I couldn't fit my wrist through the whole thing. That'd be awesome.
That
Man,
would
I'd
be
need to
pretty
get a
sweet.
watch that has a wrestling belt on it. I mean,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
One that just like opens up like a Power Rangers communicator or whatever.
There you
I
go.
need to get one of those.
But yeah. Unfortunately, a little bit of a down note. We did have to go to a funeral this past Saturday. Because our former pastor of our church, his mom passed away, who was also a member of the church. So I went to her funeral on Saturday. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me on the IRL side of things. Just gearing up, getting ready for old Turkey Day, old Thanksmas. So pretty excited for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Oh, before you go, Lucas, I did
Yeah.
leave out. I actually had to go to a visitation as well this past week. Or actually, this was yesterday. It was one of my good friends' grandmother. And the place was completely packed. So it was really cool
Wow.
to see everybody there. Also, his grandma and grandpa had been married for 65 years.
Wow.
Man,
So
that is
I thought that was
Jeez.
really cool.
that's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
All stars.
Wow. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right. So I think I'm gonna keep the Earl front going.
Okay.
Since that's where Mark left off. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right to the chase. For those on YouTube, you can see that I got a haircut. And for those that aren't on YouTube, I just told you, so now you know.
If you cut all your hair off, is it called a haircut? Or I think it's a buzz.
There's still something there. I
There's
mean,
a
it's a
shadow
buzz,
on the
but it's
top.
still a haircut. Yeah, there's a little shadow there. I got a 5 o'clock shadow on the,
He didn't
my
pick
head.
it.
No, yeah,
So-
not pick it. Right.
It's time,
Did you
my
cut it
friends.
yourself?
Buckle up. I'm gonna tell you a story. This wasn't just like Lucas saying, you know what, I'm gonna cut my hair with right to the skin because it's summertime.
no.
No, this has a little bit of a walk to take us on. So
All right.
it's Saturday. We've, of course, as is tradition, we'll do a late breakfast. And then, Natasha was gone at a basketball camp. So it was just me, James, and Mindy. And then Mindy had to work on Saturday morning. So it was just James and I. We got up, we were already up. Mindy went off to work. We played video games, watched cartoons. Then we had a late breakfast. And then after breakfast, I needed to cut our hair because both of our heads of hair had been going on way too long. Like
we know
it was
we
know. Yeah, you know. For my son, it was like covering most of his ears. You couldn't even see his ears depending on how unkempt his hair was. So Mindy had kind of given us the morning task of cutting our hair. So usually my practice is, especially during the summer, just get the number 4 guard, put it on the old buzz clippers and shave his head. I usually try to give him a little bit of a fade, shorten it to 1 or 2 around his, around the edge and stuff. So, but on this particular day, we kind of got delayed in our plans, just because we were lazy and I needed to take a shower. And so I was like, James, why don't you set everything up? You know where the stool is, you know where the hair clippers are, just plug it in, get everything ready. He's like, could I start it? And I'm like, I mean, you've seen me do it enough before.
Wait a minute. You mean start your hair or start his hair?
I needed to take a shower, so he wanted to start his hair. And he knows that I usually cut my own hair. Other than like trimming around my neck and some, around my ears and stuff, I do the rest. And so I told him, I asked him to set it up, and then he went a step further. He's like, can I start? And I'm like, I think you'll be all right. Yeah, just make sure to use the number 4 guard. You put the number 4 guard on it and cut, and then I'll be there to help finish. He's like, okay.
The narrator cuts in. He did not use the number 4.
So I go take a shower, and then I go to where he is, and I'm like, buddy, have you started? He's like, yes.
Oh no!
I walk up. He's done a Kentucky split down the middle of his head, to where he's got hair coming out the temple sides of his head, but down the middle, it was shaved.
He's got a Hulk Hogan going on.
Oh no, he took it all the way.
Is it Eddie Gordo from Tekken? Is that guy?
Oh, I think so. Yes, he definitely looks like a Tekken character or anime character.
No, I think it's not Eddie
Gordo.
Heihachi or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Heihachi. Yeah, he had cut to the skin. And I, of course,
right down the middle,
he had tufts of hair, and
is it like that scene on The Grinch Stole Christmas where that guy buzzes himself right down the center?
Pretty much.
Somebody looks
that. Yeah, my son definitely looked fabulous. He just had this look on his face, like he's like, I think I messed up, Dad. I was like, dude, what did you do? And so after I was done laughing for 10 minutes, because I could not control myself, I was like, James, I got to fix this, buddy. He's like, actually, at first I was like, what did you do? Like, why did you, I told you the number 4 guard. I was like, why did you take it off? He's like, well, I was trying to trim. And I'm like, James, you don't trim down the middle of your head. You trim around the sides. And so he told me at one point, he said, I looked at my shadow on the ground and I saw like large chunks of hair missing, and I knew something was wrong at that point. So I gave him the bad news that I was going to have to just buzz his head all over. He started to cry. He said he was going to look ugly. He said kids were going to make fun of him. And I said, buddy, I want to tell you 2 things. One, when I was in 4th grade, I got my first buzz cut, and I did it by myself. And my mom actually did it for me, but I asked her to do it. And after I was done, my dad looked at me and he said, Lucas, you look like a convict. And that was it. That's all he said. And they walked away. And so I said, and to follow up to that, I'm not going to let you be alone. I'm going to buzz my head too. So
you took the Billy Madison, Miles Davis approach.
I did. I buzzed my head with him. It helped soften the blow a little bit. Now, did he later look at himself in the mirror and cry all over again because he realized what he looked like with a buzz head? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And I had to yesterday on Monday, I walked him to class and, made sure that all his friends and his teacher saw us were the bald bros, the shaved head bros, the buzzed head bros. Now, one thing that's kind of funny where I feel like life is imitating art. Ironically, we just started Avatar: The Last Airbender, where one of his favorite characters, Aang, also has a shaved head. So there's definitely been thoughts of me wanting to draw just a big blue arrow on his forehead just for fun. And yeah, I go, yip.
Yeah,
and,
that's what it is. Yeah.
And then on my part, I've been playing God of War Ragnarok. So of course I kept my beard and just shaved my head. And let me say, I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it. Mindy was definitely not a fan. I had
You
just
have a head
finished...
that could be shaved though. You have a good shape.
Thank you. I've been surprised at the compliments I've gotten. I actually had one guy. I was at a basketball game tonight for the middle school girls for Tasha's team, and the athletic director. I was talking to him after the game, congratulating him on. Just so you know, our girls are going to the championship game, so very exciting. They had a stellar game, which I'll have some more to say about in a second. But I was talking to him, and he was like, I like the Max Payne look you got going. And I'm like,
ooh,
Max Payne. And so we just, for the next 10 minutes, we were talking video games. So that was kind of cool. I didn't realize how much he played video games. I'd found out that in the past through his son is James's, one of James's friends. And so he had told me that they played like Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn and other PlayStation games. So it was cool to talk shop with him and talk about some video games. So he was telling me actually that in Max Payne 3, it is set in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And in fact, one of the locales you play at is the one of the bigger soccer stadiums here. But they changed the name. The name of the team is the Corinthians, and they changed the name to the Galatians.
Nice.
just to because they didn't want to pay the royalties for using their team name, so they're like, we'll go with another book of the Bible, Galatians. So it was pretty funny to talk about that with him. Now I mentioned so we got the buzzed head. Of course, Mindy was a little mortified at first, but she was like, after a bit of a talking to with me and James for letting him cut his hair by himself.
Did she just walk in and you guys both were bald?
Oh, well, see, the thing is when I cut our hair, I actually go to the patio outside, like where we keep the dog. It's her kennel, but it's also the entrance to our storage shed. And so we use that area and it keeps it contained. And then I sweep it up. Well, you got a perfect view of that area when you pull in the car. So she pulled in from work. And there's James like waving at her with his bald head, smiling and trying to be all funny. And Mindy's jaw just dropped. She was just like, what did you do? So
that's hilarious.
And she did say that since I kept the beard, it looks better than the last time I did it, where I shaved to the skin in college. And she cried. So, because I was so ugly.
To be seen with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, funnily enough, that's how Natasha has kind of taken it, where she's like, it's so awkward. And she's like, I can't believe he did that. And he's going to be made fun of so much. And she was so worried about him. And for both of them, I was just like, it's going to grow back. It's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Own it.
So yeah, exactly. That's what I told James on Saturday and Sunday when he was scared about going to school. I'm like, just own it, man. It's all about the attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them it's cool. The cool kids buzz their head. So we'll just see what happens. Maybe more kids will buzz their head this summer. But yeah, so as I mentioned, we won the semifinals to the basketball championship. So the Paca middle school girls are headed to the championship next Wednesday. Funnily enough, partly they have me to thank for winning this basketball game. And let me tell you why.
Lucky shaved head.
I mean, something. There's something. It's actually the opposite. In fact, we got to the game. We were watching the game. It started a little late. And the first few minutes, the game was 0-0. Like both teams missing shots left and right. Like shots where they were right under the basket. Maybe too much under the basket. And just missing. So at one point, Mindy was thirsty and she's like, "Hey, can you go get my water bottle from the classroom?" I'm like, "Sure." So I went, got it, came back. 6-2, our girls were up. They had scored 6 points while I was gone. I was gone like 3 minutes and they scored 6 points. I was like, that's cool.
Mindy, what else do you need?
Yeah, exactly. Well, 5 minutes later, it tied up 6-6. And I'm like, why are these girls not scoring? And it hit me. It's because I was there. And so I talked to Mindy. I talked to the coach of the varsity team. And I'm like, I don't know if you're a superstitious guy, but I left a little bit ago and they scored a fast 6 points. I think I'm going to leave again. And Mindy's like, don't do that. That's dumb. That's not real. I kid you not. I walked away and within 5 minutes they had 12 points.
Wow.
I spent the rest.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I was gone the rest of the game. I only saw the last 2 minutes of the game when they were up 16-10. And I was like, I'm at least going to see the last 2 minutes. And then after that, they did a friendly where Natasha got to play more and it was fine. But yeah, it was thanks to me. So there you go. So I told them that next week at the championship, I'm going to show up for 1 minute and then I'm just going to leave. And then
You
they're
gotta do what
going
you
to
got to
win.
do.
Yeah, you got to do
For the
it's the
team.
sacrifice you got to make for the team. So I feel like we got the championship in the bag as long as I leave
Way
the
to
game.
take the credit.
You
Good job.
shouldn't even show up.
No, you got to show up. I got to be there. The lucky melon has to be there,
Oh, then you just got
To shine.
vanish.
and then I just vanish without a trace. You know?
Yeah. We can't see anything. Put a hat on.
Bring one of those little smoke bombs and throw it at the ground and run off.
Yeah, like bah! Or just get a
Batman?
blanket and just be like 1, 2, 3, and throw the blanket in the air and run away. Oh gosh. So yeah, that's the real life front. That's what's been going on. So buzz cutting and
Championship basketball.
and championship basketball by not being present. So on the IFL front, the video game front, just so you know, if you don't, since you weren't here last week, Ronnie, IFL stands for in fake life. So that's where that comes from. Just in case you were curious.
And I assume you mean video games by that?
Yeah, video
However-
games, entertainment, whatever. IFL,
Even though video games are life, though.
but it's fake life. So it's like life it's digital. It's in the thing.
It's in
I
the
imagine it
I
like
know.
an
Controller.
old
I-
married
I-
couple.
I take it very seriously. That is
Okay,
real life.
that's
in
fair.
serious
That's
life.
fair.
All right.
In
Now,
serious.
go ahead.
Oh, now it's
Serious.
ISL.
In serious fake life.
It's full.
It's full.
That's a mouthful. All right. First of all, I have an announcement to make. I have finally filled my first PlayStation Stars trophy case with 12 useless trophies that only I care about. Thank you very much.
I don't even know what that is. Is that just like a little virtual room? Like a little virtual trophy case?
So it's a little shelf, and it's the size of your phone. It's on the screen, and it has these little digital trophies of just, like Patrick has said, like a
Awesome.
T-Rex trying to pick a mango with some kind of staff or sword or something.
Ronnie just had his Thanos moment. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I filled my first 12-spot trophy case. So I'm
How
very
many of those
happy.
do you have? Just like an unlimited number?
I don't really know. I've never gotten beyond the 12, so it's probably just going to go to the next shelf. And who knows if I'll be able to access the old shelf? It's just going to disappear and not even matter.
By the
if
time you're
I-
by
be
the
surprised.
time you're done here, you're just gonna have an archive of shelves.
Yeah,
to your
I'll
name.
be able to look at this, kids. I'm gonna like when I'm a grandpa and my grandkids come around, gather around, kids. Let me show you my trophy.
That'll be part of
case.
the PowerPoint at your funeral. Here's all of his trophies.
While they're playing music and my favorite songs in the background, they just show the trophies. Just go by. Sir, I want to buy these trophies.
Oh my gosh.
Mama, please. Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty
Awesome.
important.
Awesome.
In other news, I'm still fighting, dying, and repeating the process of Dead Cells. This past week, they released the next update with a bunch of crossover characters, as I had alluded to. But getting to experience it, as opposed to just getting a preview, was two different stories because it was really cool. So, Marc, I know you've played Shovel Knight.
Yep.
At one point, you enter a room that's an exact replica of the forest with the campsite, with the fire. And
Oh.
your little Dead Cell character just crosses his legs and sits down. And then it does that disappearing screen like it does in Shovel Knight when he goes into Dreamland. And then it pops back out and you see a weapon in front of you, and it's the scepter of King Knight. And you pick it up and you start whacking enemies, and it does this move where as soon as you hit an enemy, he pops up in the air and just starts bouncing like off of enemies, and it's a really fun weapon. So that was a cool little discovery. I haven't gotten the skin yet. That's what I really want, is the Shovel Knight skin, where you get the nice blue armor. The other update that or the other crossover that was revealed was for one of my favorites that nobody here will understand, but it was still cool to me, was Slay the Spire. And you get a set of cards, and every time you press the button to activate it, it does something random based off of one of 4 or 5 cards that you get in the game. So those little crossovers are really cool. So I think more games need to have crossovers. Like, just, it's almost like it takes me back to when I was a kid and I would like just mash the toys together. Like, I had G.I. Joe mixed with Ninja Turtles, mixed with Aliens, mixed with Batman, mixed with He-Man. And it was just like massive battle, like Avengers Endgame, except it's more like Toy Box Endgame, like Toy Story Endgame, where it's just everybody's fighting at each other. So I appreciate that aspect of it and really enjoy it. Other than that, I've been, of course, as with Patrick and Mark was, I am engrossed in the epic tale of God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through. I've played about 20 hours, but I have done every side quest. I haven't done super exploration, but I've taken my time. Like, I'll be honest, I currently, even after 20 hours, I do not want this game to end.
Oh, right.
The story is just another level, even from 2018. Like, it's like reading a book, but in a good way. I know it doesn't sound enticing. Maybe I've ruined it by saying that. I take it back. It's like, I don't know what to connect it to. It's just so epic and so engrossing. Like, the dialogue, the story, the acting. It's just a whole nother level. Like, it's just so good. And I don't want it to end. I really don't. So I'm doing every side mission. Every time they're like, hey, maybe we should go over here, I'm like, okay. And so I go over there and I look around. I cannot wait to do the spoiler cast.
When you're looking around, they're like, "Hey, over here! Oh, he's that's what's he doing over there? Oh, he just likes to explore. He likes to collect things. Don't mind him. He'll be back."
Yeah, yeah, that's been really funny in the game where some of the NPCs are just like, who've never hung out with Kratos. They're like, why is he jumping up there? That's not where we're supposed to go. And then Atreus is just like, that's my dad. He just does it.
That's funny.
Don't worry about my dad. He's kind of crazy. Yeah. The thing that's still jarring to me is, and actually quite annoying, because I want to keep moving. Like, I of course want to enjoy the story and I don't want it to end, but I don't want to just sit there. But there's some stories and some conversations that happen that when you transition, they'll start to be like, well, why don't we talk about this? And then Kratos is like, that's for another time. Like, you reach a certain area and he just totally just shoots it down. And I'm like, no, Kratos, let him tell the story. So that's kind of, I don't know. I get sad when that happens, but I know they'll continue the story where you left off once you get into the general area again.
I get sad every time they release another God of War.
I know, and you haven't played it.
I have not.
Man, you got to play it someday. Someday, my friend.
That's that literally is the one reason now to buy the PlayStation. That's
and it's worth it. It is worth it.
I've heard that. Yeah. Heard that.
Yep.
Now that you have 2 of them, oof, that's great.
Yeah.
Epicness. Yeah. So that's pretty much all my life fronts. Laid it out before you. Good night, Clark. See you, buddy.
For those not watching on YouTube, Clark just entered.
Yep, he gave us a wave and gave us a hug goodnight. We'll give Patrick a hug
Pat just walked in and hugged the larger version of Pat.
A beardless, short version of Pat. Shorter, not short, but yeah. So I think that's pretty much it with the life updates. Since we are leading into Thanksgiving, in anticipation of Thanksgiving, what's one thing you guys are thankful for that you'd like to share with the joiners tonight? I didn't warn you whatsoever. So
Oh wow,
I'm gonna
yeah.
throw it out.
Goodness.
Thanks, Lucas.
So I'll start since I didn't warn you, but even then I didn't even think about it. So
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Ronnie, jump into it.
You
Who
want
or
me to
what are you
start
thankful
after you
for?
told everybody that you'd start? We're going to start with the lie.
Yeah, I'm all about the lies. It's a fib.
Oh,
It's more
I
of a
am
fib.
thankful for Miss Elizabeth
Hey, doesn't that figure?
because she is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Miss Elizabeth? Like Randy Savage's Miss Elizabeth?
My Miss Elizabeth. I'm Randy Savage.
Nice.
I've been
Never
calling her
do
Miss
Slim Jim.
Elizabeth. I've been calling her Miss Elizabeth to people like because of that reason exactly.
Yeah.
Does she call you Randy or Mr. Savage?
Sometimes.
No.
After hours.
Wow, wow.
He's the macho man.
No, yeah, I am thankful. She puts up with me every day, so
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's a big job.
It is a big job.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of jobs, I am thankful for my job. I love my job. It's been almost 2 years, and I still love going in every day. And a lot of it has to do with the team I have. The team's fantastic. They're so flexible. They love to help each other out, kind of like you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and that's just like a rotating thing for.
Not like a good back scratch.
I know. Well, there's a guy on the team that he has a back scratcher, and so he scratches his own back. But
Back scratcher.
yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Gotta have one at your desk. I feel
Yeah,
like
you gotta have a back scratcher because there's nothing worse than have an itch in the middle of your back and you can't quite get it.
Look how like rubbing against all the door frames.
You're
and stuff,
rubbing
like,
it
just all over.
Like, all right, let me get to the corner of this wall. Hopefully, no one's watching it. While
Looking
I'm just
around the
going
house
up and
for
down,
sharp edges.
up and down.
Oh, he's got one of those. He's got one of those collapsible ones.
You got a rake.
Yeah, I do too. I have one of those too.
That's
A
right.
back rake.
It's old school. It's a back rake. When there's no leaves in the lawn, you can scratch your back with it.
You just
And when the
gotta
leaves come out, you just get to going.
Man,
Come
that's
here,
one thing.
leaves.
That's one thing I don't have is a back scratcher. I need to get
you
one of
get-
those.
Gotta
You're
get
the
it.
best, man.
The problem is once you start scratching your back, you just scratch
the
it forever.
scratcher.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Lucas,
Once
do you
you
have
get
one of
going.
those whisk head
That's the problem. You can't
scratchers?
stop.
Oh,
You were with me when I got it, my friend.
those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
I haven't used it since I shaved my head. I wonder how that would feel.
Probably feels
fantastic.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, I bet it would.
Nothing in the way.
How's the wind now? Like you can just feel all of it now that your hair's all gone.
Oh man, let me tell you.
You can
let me
just
tell you
feel
what.
whichever
Brisk.
direction.
Tell you what,
it's
man.
going.
Even like taking a hot shower, as soon as my head moves, like I can feel my head cooling. Like it gets like cold real quick. And yeah, I had to put up my hood today because
I'm
my
so
hoodie.
much more aerodynamic now.
Like,
You're no longer protected.
Yeah, the first day I put on a hat because when I went outside because the temperature dropped.
You put it on, it's like 3 sizes too big. 'cause
That
there's
is
no
correct.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
is
how I know I
correct.
need a haircut when my hat stopped fitting.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Mark, want to share your thankfulness?
So being thankful.
Thankfulness.
You want to share your back scratcher?
Yeah,
I sure don't.
I'll tell you what, I'm thankful for this back scratcher.
I'll tell
I'm
you
glad
what,
you
man.
brought that up.
That's the problem. You scratch one time, you're just scratching everything. Then
Yep.
You're making
Yeah.
scratch
it's
faces.
a 30-minute process every time.
It's a good thing the podcast listeners, the joiners, can't see
I
my
don't want to
face
know what you're
'cause I'm just
scratching right
making-
now, but it's freaking me out.
Scratching my back. It's a back scratcher. This isn't after hours.
The back rake.
This isn't after
Or
hours.
is it? No, I am. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for family in various different kinds. I'm thankful for my family and for my wife's family. Seeing as my wife's family has had to deal with a lot with the passing of my wife's grandfather earlier in the year, and it is the holidays. But I'm very thankful for them that they are weathering that storm. I'm thankful for my church family, even though we've been through a lot of crazy things the past couple of months. I'm still very thankful for them. So yeah, family in different ways.
Nice.
And I'm
Right.
thankful for the Joiner family.
Yeah.
Ooh, can't forget them.
No, definitely not.
Mm-mm.
I'm thankful for I'm thankful for technology and how it connects all of us. Like having this ability to gather with you guys every week. I'm thankful for you guys, and Just gathering around the old water cooler every week to talk about life, talk about games, entertainment, just laugh. It's a good time every week, and it's something I definitely look forward to. But beyond that, like just being able to connect with a variety of family, friends, technology. I mean, it just like as much as, sometimes, Marvel Snap or my phone can be a distraction at the same time. Like I read my Bible on the app. I do devotionals with other people on the app. I pray with people through, WhatsApp and calling people in Brazil, in the US. It's just awesome. So I'm thankful for that. I know that, my wife or my father-in-law has talked about how when they were missionaries, like getting to talk to and see people once every few years, and just how different it used to be, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so having that connection to where I know I'm on the mission field, I know I'm in another country, another hemisphere, but I just feel like I'm a part of the world. Like I'm a part of the US, I'm a part of Brazil. And so I'm thankful for that privilege to be able to in some ways it feels like, when I compare to the old missionaries and what they went through, I kind of feel like I'm cheating, like I'm having my cake and eating it too. Like it's a great privilege. So, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I am not thankful for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, which we watched last week. And
Dang.
yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I just turned a corner really fast, but I just heard the great power comes great responsibility. But yeah, just want to throw it out there. We watched it with the family,
Okay.
but I'll save that one for another day.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. But yeah, thankful for you joiners. Thankful for the chance to eat turkraken later this week. So it should be tasty. Oh, there it goes. Yep.
What's that?
Good. Turkey octopus.
Octopi.
I thought it was
the
just turkey
Kraken.
with crack
Octopi.
cocaine in it.
I'm
Like, wow, you guys are gonna be up all
so
night.
wired. What is happening?
Yeah.
I'm so
You guys aren't gonna be going.
Oh
to
yeah,
sleep.
that's legal in Brazil. JK, it's not. It's definitely
Little
not.
sprinkle on it.
Yeah.
Y'all got any more of that thankfulness?
Vendors can make
The
whatever they
powdered
want.
thankfulness.
This one's got powdered sugar all over it.
All right. Well, that is all from us. How about you joiners? If you want to share what's new in your neck of the woods, then let's do some quick housekeeping where we offer you towels, fluff pillows, topped with Andy's candies, and tip you off to how you can connect with the GMGU on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Hive, and Instagram.
Yeah.
You can share what's new with you.
The hive.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So people are there.
There's a lot of people that went over there this past weekend.
Yeah.
lot.
It's,
I bet with everything going on with Twitter.
Yep.
Yep.
I think they said it was like 250 to 500,000 people were on the Hive, and over the weekend it tripled.
There you go.
I don't know what it is now, but it's well over 1 million now.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of posts of people and it just looks like a different, like not a palette swap, but a slightly different version of Twitter. Like even the format looks very similar.
It's very similar, but it looks like what Twitter looked like 11 years ago.
Oh yeah. All right.
So, and I think that only 2 people are like made it and running it and monitoring it. So it's like, wow, they're going to need to hire some more people to improve that app and bring it to as more people are coming to it.
And
Don't worry,
count their money.
Give it a few years and
Yeah.
Yeah.
give it a few
Count their
years and
money.
Elon Musk will be buying it probably. So
I hope not.
yeah.
My wallet's too small for my 50s, and my diamond shoes are too tight.
But if that kind of social media is not for you and you'd rather connect with us visually or spectatorly, there is YouTube and Twitch, where right now officially Marc is taking a break, and I am like on the borderline of taking a break for the holidays. But good old Chris the Rock, he remains faithful. He is playing that old God of War Ragnarok, so you can get on there, check him out, hang out with all the other joiners and folks from all over the world who chatted up in the wee early hours of the morning, most of the days during the week. And then finally, on Patreon and our merch page, you can support and gear up with us. So click on the one link to rule them all, either in the show notes, or you can type it out real quick, like linktree.com/thegmgpod. Of course, if you can't toss your attention or a coin to your podcasters, but are still the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify. It helps us reach new joiners through stars, exclamation marks, and your feedback. So let your voice be heard. Literally, if you prefer, at 929 GMG Guys. Alrighty then, Pat, Marc, and Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners. Go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.